In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the first steps that you need to take to becoming self-aware in a modern world, because we all have the ability to be self-aware, because as humans, we are biological creatures that are self-aware. There are certain things that enables us to be self-aware, and in this video I'm going to dive into all the things that make us self-aware, why you are not self-aware, and the first steps you can begin to take to becoming self-aware in a modern world. So with that being said, let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Christina and I help empower people on their spiritual and healing journey so they can live a more purposeful, driven and fulfilling life. So let's dive in. We first need to approach this video by understanding what is self-awareness. We've all heard of that term. We think it may be something to do with like who I am as a person, having awareness of my emotions maybe, and it's important in order to grow as a human and heal and just evolve spiritually. As a human, as a collective, we need to understand how to become more self-aware. And self-awareness is some of those things I just spoke about, but I thought I would get a simple definition up on Google to see what Google would say if somebody was to Google what does it mean to be self-aware. So here Google simply says, self-awareness is your ability to perceive and understand the things that make you who you are as an individual, including your personality, your actions, values, beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. So what makes us self-aware is having the ability to be aware of our five senses, aware of our emotions, aware of the taste, aware of touch, aware of my environment, and become self-aware of how I act in the world, how I act in my environment. Because I believe when it comes to self-awareness, it's more than just understanding your personality, your behavior traits, because most of the time we want to become self-aware to have awareness of our toxic behavior traits, heal our wounds, and understand our deep-rooted beliefs and emotions. But in order to become fully self-aware in the spiritual sense, we have to understand the cause and effect of our actions. And what I mean by this, how you act in the world and what effect that has. So this means, are you acting with compassion? Are you acting with kindness in the world? And it's about becoming self-aware of your thoughts that potentially could lead to an action. Then that has a cause and effect in the world. So it's becoming so aware of your own thoughts, aware of what your actions may do in the world, what consequence that may have, because often in this modern world we react unconsciously. We are operating consciously from unconsciousness instead of self-awareness and observing the consciousness and our conscious reactions. So most of us in a modern world, we are not operating from conscious awareness. We lack the self-awareness because of this one thing, is that we are distracted and not experiencing the present moment in order to be self-aware of how you are behaving in the present moment and how you are driven by your thoughts, by your desires, by unconscious behavior patterns that are deep rooted probably from your childhood. And so in a modern world, we are always distracted from the present moment because we are distracted by our phone, we are distracted by our unconscious patterns, we are distracted by the busyness of the world, the hustle culture, the go-getter, and doing all the time rather than being. Because when we shift from doing to being, we become still and we're able to become more self-aware of ourselves. So if you lack presence, you probably lack some form of self-awareness. You are not aware of how your actions and emotions are playing out in the present moment because you are operating from unconsciousness. And so this means we are driven by our behavior patterns, by our desires, rather than one of empathy, rather than compassion, because we have no awareness of our thoughts, no awareness of the consequence of our actions or reactions or reactivity. So when we live in a modern world, we have to realize that we are distracted, so we're not able to become self-aware and actually observe the thoughts that we are operating from. And most of the time, these are unconscious, subconscious behavior patterns that drive our desires. And so we are always chasing things rather than just being still in the present moment, so we can become self-aware in order to evolve as a human and grow spiritually. I believe we're all still there. There's always room to grow. I have just become consciously aware of some behavior patterns that I operate from, and it's only when I've been able to do more inner work and actually be still and meditate that I'm able to become more aware of toxic behavior patterns. For example, for me, I find I get quite snappy. I can become quite angry. I feel like I am defending something because I become triggered and because my ego is defending what I am holding on to. So I think it's me becoming self-aware of the anger that I'm holding on that is causing me to react and operate from a reactivity behavior, if that makes sense. The first steps in order to becoming more self-aware in a very busy world is actually to limit your distractions, reduce the amount of time that causes you to be distracted, and actually go from doing to being and becoming still, because when we become still, we're able to observe more, so then we become more self-aware in that present moment, and we're able to observe our emotions, we're able to observe our thoughts, observe sensations in our bodies. We're constantly distracted by the external world, and it's about going internal, allowing the internal world to be still. But in order to do that, we have to limit the external world, and that means limit the distractions in order to become self-aware and aware of your thoughts. Because this is really a game changer when you're able to really come into presence and become aware of your behavior, the ways you show up in the world, the way of your actions. Then you're able to change it, reframe things, and come from more of a place of compassion. And that's when you're able to do the inner work and heal, when you're able to become aware of your toxic behavior traits, because everybody has some kind of behavior trait that is not serving them or their partner or somebody that is in a close relationship with them. And we're able to transmute that and transcend that when we have awareness of it. So it's about becoming self-aware of yourself, of your emotions, of your thoughts, and how you act in the world in order to shift to higher states of consciousness. So just to recap, this means the first steps is reducing distractions and going inward, becoming still. And what can do that is meditation. And it's a meditation where you're able to become still and become self-aware in the present moment. It's not about doing meditation that is a guided meditation. It's becoming self-aware in the moments of being still with your own thoughts and observing them, not getting lost in them, not getting distracted by them. And this takes skill. This can take months, this can take years. I'm not saying that I can do this. I can easily get lost in my own thoughts. And what I do when I'm meditating and I find myself getting distracted, my ego's trying to send me off on some like wild goose chase, I kind of recenter myself. I've come back to my breath, come back to the present moment, and allow myself to drop back into the conscious awareness. So it's not something that is a skill learnt overnight. So it's about practicing, and it's not about practice makes perfect, because there's no such thing. It's about practicing in order for you to become aware of your emotions, aware of yourself. So I hope this video has been really helpful. I'm doing a series of these, and this is the first one. I thought I would just do the first basic steps about limiting your distractions in order to becoming self-aware, but I will be doing probably a 3-part series all about becoming self-aware. And if that I've done that video already, it will be here. If not, you'll have to wait till next time that it is there, because the video is going to be about becoming self-aware of your actual toxic behavior traits, how you can become self-aware of your behavior patterns. So with that being said, I will see you on the next video. Much love.